Hey, what's up? It's Tony from Street Church, and welcome to the Inside Job podcast. Hey, this is episode 3, so it's our third and final episode of a series that we have called If Not You, Who? And the bottom line is this: whether you believe it or not, the truth is this: there's somebody in your world right now, whether that's at home, it could be at school, in the neighborhood, at work, wherever, who is going through something that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy, right? Who's in trouble, who has something that only you can provide in order to make an impact and a difference in that situation. Okay? And you know, it may seem very insignificant to you, right? It may seem very, very small. It could be a ride someplace. It could be a phone call. It could be a listening ear. It could be a word of encouragement. It could be a bottle of water. It could be a cup of coffee. It could be a pair of shoes, whatever. It might seem small, but remember, I love what Mother Teresa said. She said, it's a great quote. She said, there are no great things that we can do for God, only little things done in great love. And that's what makes an impact in people's lives who are going through tough situations, right? But the problem is this: for most of us go to the 101 reasons why we can't do something, right? Why we can't make a difference. We all have excuses, right? We love to pull out that violin and begin to play all of the reasons why we can't be the ones who can make an impact on somebody's life who is going through it, right? We like to tell ourselves, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough resources, I'm not educated enough, I don't talk well enough. We all have them, right? And that's our default position, is that we go there all of the time. And I think as an example for us not to go there, God used this very ordinary guy to do one of the most extraordinary things in human history, right? Moses, a very ordinary guy that God used to do an extraordinary event. I mean, he led probably around 2 million people out of slavery who were enslaved for 400 years in Egypt, and he led them out of there into a new land, into the promised land. And trust me, Moses did not want to go. His go-to position was, hey, you got the wrong guy here, God. I'm not the guy for the job. And that's our default position out of the box. Whether we don't know enough or we don't, have enough time, whatever, that's how we come out of the box. And, as an example for us not to go there, God inserted Moses into human history to do one of the greatest things ever. And when Moses dropped back for his last Hail Mary, and through his last excuse of why he was not the guy for the job, this is how God responded in Exodus chapter 4. Let me just read it to you. Exodus chapter 4 in verse number 10. This is Moses' last Hail Mary among many, many passes he tried to throw to God of why he was not the guy for the job. God, you got the wrong guy here. And this is what he says. He says, "O Lord, I am not eloquent, either in the past or since you have spoken to your servant. I've been slow of speech and of tongue." Then the Lord said to him, "Who has made man's mouth? Who makes him mute or deaf or seeing or blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with your mouth and teach you what you shall speak." So in essence, what was Moses doing, right? He was playing his last card. I have a speech impediment. I can't do this. I don't talk very well. You got the wrong guy here. And God's response, in short, was this. Through all of those questions here that God, listen, whenever you open up the Bible and you hear God ask a question, listen closely, because God don't need to know stuff. It's not that he needs to know something when you hear him ask a question, is that he has something to say to you that you need to know. And when God was saying, listen, who is it that makes man's mouth? Who is it that makes man blind or mute or deaf? Is it not I? In short, what he was saying was this. What did I mess up, Moses? What, was I having a bad day when I made you and I messed up? That's what he was saying, And I think we have to fight against that, right? So I have an example I'll just share with you real quick. I was at the shelter. This is a few months ago. I was walking around. I was trying to plug people into addiction service resources, or, I think I had some water with me and some socks to see if I could, I could provide, any physical needs. So, I'm talking to a few people and it's going nowhere. And then all of a sudden I see this guy out of the corner of my eye. He's across the street. I never met him. I didn't know the guy. I was reluctant and hesitant to approach him. I didn't know what to, I was telling myself, I don't know him. I don't know what to say. Don't know how to even begin a conversation. I don't know how his response is going to be. So I began to walk back home, or back to our church rather. And I stopped myself and I'm like, you know what? No. Put the violin away, put the excuses down, and just go say hey to this guy and see what happens. So anyways, just to make a long story short, I walked across the street, I met the guy, we began to talk. It turned out he was, he was in the hospital for a couple weeks. He just got out. He just needed somebody to just be there. He needed somebody just to listen to him. So I just hung out with him for a while. I just listened to him. A few days later, I saw him again. I invited, him into church. He came to church. I got to know him a little bit better. It turns out he needed someplace to go and to sort his life out. So, I sent him up the Teen Challenge, and we were able to actually send him up the Teen Challenge, and he was there for several months. He did very well. And, that wouldn't have happened if I didn't put the excuses down and shove the violin back in the drawer where it needs to be, right? I just needed to just remind myself that, I don't know what to say. I'm never going to say the perfect thing. I'm never going to be able to just do and to be everything that everybody needs. But you know what? I can do something. And God did not mess up when he made me. Regardless of my shortcomings or my failures or my limitations, God wasn't having an off day, So, if you think that you're unqualified for the job of making an impact on somebody's life who is going through it, join a club, get in line. We all do. We all are unqualified in and of ourselves, right? But we can do it. It's what we were created for. So, one for the road. I'll leave you guys here with a thought to put in your back pocket. Okay, if you think that you're not the man or woman for the job to make an impact on somebody's life who is going through a tough situation, then think again. God wasn't having an off day when he made you. He didn't mess up, and he wasn't in a rush when he made you. Don't forget that. All right, this one series down. We have another one cooked up in the oven for you. Can't wait until then. Have a great day.